Hey guys, Ashley with Techno Buffalo here. We are doing a hands-on of the HTC Butterfly S. All right, so here it is, the HTC Butterfly S. This is a very interesting phone. We'd also like to thank Negri Electronics for getting us this fabulous device since it's not here in the States. Here's one thing that is very different than your standard HTC One that we've been so used to seeing. There's no aluminum back. This is grade A plastic, so it's a little fingerprinty. I know if you hold it for a few minutes, it definitely picks up the fingerprints and can get very, very smudgy, which I'm not a huge fan of, but you know, it's nice to see something a little bit different. As you can see, it does have Beats audio on board and some red accents around the camera, which looks pretty nice. I kind of like that. The red accents continue through to the Boom Sound speakers on the front of the device. They continue to terrify and amaze me. Boom Sound is one of those technologies that I don't know how we started with speakers on the backs of phones before. This seems like such an obvious no-brainer at this point that, you know, Boom Sound is, I'm a little spoiled by it, I'm gonna be honest. Power, there's our sleep button right here on top, headphone jack, and you know, something that I really like, of course, your SIM tray, but also a micro SD slot. This comes with 16 gigs of storage on board, and of course it's a little bit less after the software has been installed. But you also get up to 64 gigabytes of expandable storage on here with a micro SD card. So that's a big, huge bonus. So let's take the phone out of its deep, dark sleep. And of course we have Sense 5, the beautiful Sense 5 with blink feed. You get your highlights, all that good stuff. Once you set it up, it'll show you all of your things in a very Flipboard-esque manner if you've ever used Flipboard. And of course, swiping to the right will show you all of your standard Android home screen functionality. I actually really like this. I'm a huge fan of the way that they've done this sort of quick settings here and then also into your deeper settings. Here's everything that's going on with the phone, but I'm gonna go into About because, you know, it can't hurt to look at our software information. You can see this is running Android version 4.2.2 and Sense 5, like I mentioned before. No 4.3 yet on the horizon that we've heard of, at least from HTC, but considering it just came out earlier, about a week ago, I'm not too concerned about it. So I'm sure we'll hear more about when we can expect 4.3 for all of HTC's flagship devices in the coming weeks and months. Let me show you a little bit of a comparison here in this hands-on. I'm gonna bring in the Droid DNA. So here's the DNA, and I have to mention that if we're bringing in this phone, we also have to bring in the original Butterfly. So I'm gonna have 3 of these phones. You can see they all have the red accents on the top, all have the front-facing cameras in the upper left side of their screen. They are all, in fact, 5-inch screens with 1080p. They have 441 ppi. They're all stunning. I'm not gonna lie, it's pretty amazing. HTC has some beautiful design choices, and of course their screens are no different. So I'm a big, big fan of that 5-inch 441 ppi screen. Very, very well done. Here's the difference between old Sense and the most current version. I believe this is Sense 4 if I'm not mistaken, but let's take a look. Let's go over to our About and check out our software information. 4.1.1 and Sense 4 Plus. So we are looking, in fact, at Sense 4 on this device. This is the Droid DNA on the right and the HTC Butterfly S on the left. The original Butterfly, there's a few differences between the original and the new one. So like I said, they all have the same screen. The original Butterfly had a Snapdragon S4 quad-core 1.5 gigahertz processor. This one's up the ante a little bit with a Snapdragon 600 quad-core processor, and that's clocked at 1.9 gigahertz. So definitely some more speed on this bad boy. It's got 2 gigs of RAM, just like the original Butterfly, but this one, like I said, expands storage-wise up to 64 gigs, as opposed to the 32 gigs that you would be able to add onto the original Butterfly. Now, the Droid DNA, if we're all recalling correctly, no expandable storage. Wah, wah. That's where we play the sad trombone music. This one has the 4 ultra pixel camera on the back, just like the HTC One. So you are getting a camera upgrade here from the 8 megapixel of the HTC Butterfly, the original. And the big news on this one, for me anyway, is battery life, because originally both the Droid DNA and the original HTC Butterfly had 2020 milliamp batteries. This one really ups the ante. It's got a 3200 milliamp battery on board. So this is definitely going to get you through the day. And on top of that, it's also a good thing considering you're running a 1080p screen. So if you were complaining about the battery life on your Droid DNA because of that large, beautiful, gorgeous 1080p screen, you probably won't have the same problems on this lovely Butterfly S. That is it for me on the hands-on. I mean, if you are curious about Sense 5 and you want to learn more about it, you can check out our HTC One review. We do cover Sense 5 pretty in depth on that review. And yeah, it's a great device. I'm hoping at some point we'll see a version of this come to the States. Unfortunately, as of right now, there are no release plans for the States, but this device is available in overseas. So I highly recommend if you're into the Butterfly line of devices, this one is yet another killer. It's fantastic. I am really enjoying using it. And that is our hands-on for the HTC Butterfly S. Once again, thanks to Negri Electronics for providing us the device, and we'll see you in the next video.
What's up everyone, John here. Thank you for watching the video. If you enjoyed it, I certainly hope you did. Click on the subscribe button right under me in my pants region to get tons more tech videos from Techno Buffalo. We've got awesome unboxings, comparisons, reviews, recaps, and everything else you can think of in the tech world right here on the channel. Join the herd today! If you want to check out some more content, just click right over this way to see some other recent videos. See you guys next time.